The song Master the Tempest is Raging is actually a super like special song to me, because I've been through storms and stuff, and the story of when Jesus was on the boat, just because I know what it's like to be on the ocean like that. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. One time I remember, I'm sorry, that's just weird. One time I remember there was a huge storm and the waves were 20 feet tall, which are huge. And our boat was being slung all the way around and stuff. And so we had to tether ourselves onto the boat. And we used a sailboat, so our sails were out. And my dad tied himself up and he went to go unhook the sail because sometimes in storms, like it'll beat up the sail and rip it. And we couldn't see land. We were out in the middle of the ocean. And not being able to see land is pretty scary. Just in the fact that, like, you just think of everything bad that could happen, like flipping sailboats flipping is very, like, doesn't happen very often, especially because they're big boats. But it was very scary because it was dark, because in storms, even in the middle of the day, like, everything goes, like, super black. And so the waves were 20 feet tall, and we were scared, like so scared. And my dad had to go onto the deck, and he had to take the sails off. And my mom was like praying out loud, just like, please help me, Father, like help us, help John. Like she was really worried. And my dad, I remember watching him just go up and like he was like flying around, and like luckily he was tethered on, but we were screaming. We thought my dad was gonna die. We were like, Dad, because if we had lost him off the side of the boat, he would have been gone because the storm was too much. And so we were very scared. And on the top of the mast, one of the lines had gotten undone, and my little brother was very good at climbing the mast. It's really tall up there, like 30 feet or something. I'm not exactly sure, but it's really high. And he was really scared and he didn't want to do it. So my dad was like, Leona, like, I need you to do this for me. And I am not good with heights. So I was like, Dad, I can't do it. And he was like, I promise you, like, I'm not going to let anything happen to you. Like, you can do it. So he sent me up to the top of the mast, and the wind was like just throwing our boat back and forth. And I remember hearing my mom singing that song. And I remember just thinking, like, yes, Heavenly Father is in charge of the storm. Sorry. And no matter like what happens or what I'm afraid of happening, like Heavenly Father knows what's going on, and He's in control of the storm. And that was a huge moment in my life, because when I feel like my life is kind of in a storm, I just remember that. Like, it was terrifying on the top of that mast. And like, honestly, at 10 years old, did not think I was going to come down. Like, I thought I was going to die. But my dad was in control, and like he made sure that I was safe and everything. And I made it down, obviously, safe and sound. But yeah, it was scary, but it was good. We saw lots of crazy things out there. But one time there was a little island, and we had been on the water for 8 days. We hadn't seen land in 8 days. That's a long time to be on a boat. And so we were all like going stir crazy. We were like cabin fever is what they call. Have you ever seen like the Muppets movie, like Treasure Island, Muppets Treasure Island? They have that song, We Have Cabin Fever. Like, that is legit what we were feeling. Like, we thought we were gonna die. So there was this tiny little island. So we finally stopped, and all we wanted was to have potatoes and eggs, because those things don't last. And so we'd been eating like things like oatmeal or like soup out of cans and stuff that will last a long time. And we went, and there were like these there was like 5 tiny little potatoes, and they were like $3 each. Like, they were way expensive because the little island hadn't like had anyone come in and bring them supplies and stuff. And so we just looked like ragamuffins. I mean, we like all 5 of us come off the boat, and we were like with our hairs all crazy and our clothes don't match. And the lady was like, oh my goodness, like, what have you guys been doing? And we're like, we've been out there for 8 days. And she was like, oh my, so she gave us like boxes of Crunch and Munch. She just like gave them to us. And I remember me and my siblings thought it was like Christmas. We were like, oh my goodness, this is so exciting. And she thought we were so funny because like almost like all the islands I lived on, everybody was like super black. And I'm like super white, but my siblings are kind of like darker. And so she was like laughing at us. She's like, all these little white kids are just out here they don't even know what they're doing out here. And so she just like wanted to take a bunch of pictures with us. Yeah, we thought we were pretty cool, because like everybody thought we were awesome, because we were just like a bunch of, I mean, my little sister was 2, my baby sister. We were little, but yeah, I don't know how my parents did that successfully without one of us dying. 'Cause it's dangerous out there, but it was super fun. It was not as dangerous now, I think. Like, I don't know. Thinking back on it, like I was a kid, and so to me it didn't seem dangerous. And sometimes I'm like, dude, that was dangerous. But it wasn't really. Like, it didn't feel dangerous at the time, but then it felt scary. I don't know. It's complicated. It's hard, but it's hard to, like, know. I don't know. It was a long time ago, it feels like. A lot has happened. I was little when we started on a boat, but it was really good.